Hey stock and options traders, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Karl with a K, and I've been trading stocks and options online since the mid-1990s. If you're here to learn about trading or to figure out if a stock or options course on YouTube is worth the money, then make sure to subscribe to the channel. One of my goals is to change this industry. I want to change the buying criteria when anyone wants to buy a stock or options course on YouTube. If promises are made by a YouTube instructor when selling a course, then I believe they should prove their credibility. I see only one way to prove credibility, and that is to share P&L. Not only share P&L, but also share the account P&L volatility, which means how much did the account value move up or down? If your account made 20% return, but it was down 60% at one point, then the 20% return is not really a good return on risk. Also, sharing the P&L volatility is important because risk-adjusted returns are the real truth. And this is why I share my P&L and I show the daily moves of my P&L. I would not buy a course from a YouTuber that makes promises without sharing their P&L, and I hope you won't either. In this video, I'm going to go over my real P&L for the month of December 2020. And I'm going to have a special offer later in the video. I'm going to share my real P&L for the month of December 2020 for my two separate accounts. And before I get into the P&L, I want to briefly go over what the market did in December. And this will give an idea of what my trading systems had to contend with over the last month. And my question always is, what type of market was December or was the month? In my book, I go over the four types of markets for premium selling options traders. And that is what my two systems are set up to do. They're set up to take advantage of the difference between implied volatility and actual volatility by selling option premium. The four market types are: number one, the rising bull; number two, the sideways market; number three, the grind down market; and number four, the crash market. Okay, so what happened in December of 2020? I am looking at the SPX, which is the S&P 500. We can see that we ended the month right about here at this 36.35 level. And we pretty much just went sideways and up about 3.36%. I would call this a bull market. 3% in a month, that's pretty heavy. So I'd call this a rising bull type market. Let's see how the volatility did, the VIX, over the same period. So right here, you can see the volatility fell on this last day of the month. And it kind of went up a little, came back down. It really didn't move too much. It had this spike here. It had that one day that was kind of down earlier in the morning. And kind of the market recovered, no big deal. And so everything just kind of fell back into place by the end of the day. And really the volatility did not move too much. In other words, the price of options, they kind of went up a little bit here, but they ended up kind of being not up really overall. This month was kind of relatively flat for juice. There wasn't a lot of juice. And when I say that, I'm talking about, you know, when you sell premium, you want some juice in there so the juice will come out. Like this is juice up here, right? Get some good volatility. You can sell it here, you know, and that ends up being juice as long as it doesn't keep going up, and that could happen too. But I'm just saying that for the month of December, there was not a lot of juice in the trades, and you'll see that when you look at the results of this particular month with my two trading systems. Next, I will get into the P&L. First, in my smaller account where I trade the 5-step options trading success program. This is a proprietary system that took me over 3 years to develop as I kept racking my brain trying to replicate what I was doing in my larger portfolio margin account. I wanted to replicate this system in a regular margin account. I back-tested over 300 different trade plans until I finally came up with a successful system that I could trade in a smaller account that outperforms the S&P with lower P&L volatility. Now I make these claims based on the last 10 years of my back-tested results along with about 6 months of trading it live. even though it does not replicate the exact system I'm using in my larger account. It's about as close as you can get. If you're interested in the course, I provided a link in the description below. And for the first 5 people that sign up using the code in the description, I'm offering a $500 discount. So next I'm going to go over my small account results. Okay, looking at my smaller account, the one with the 5-step program in it, you can see that we started at about 15,277 and we ended, well actually kind of ended right here, 15,315. The market is currently closed and it is the 31st. Today's the last day of the year. You can see there's not a lot of volatility. This is kind of weird, like this says 15,158 even though it's 15,315. So, but you can see that, you know, maybe this thing went down by $100. I mean, there's just no volatility in the account. Let's do some calculations. Okay, so 15,277 minus 15,315, just a profit of $38, which is not a lot. Like I said, there was not a lot of juice in the trades, and I actually had an open position the whole time and never closed out for profit. And it actually expired worthless, and I think I lost $80 or something. But you know, the main point is, you know, you don't have these big drawdowns and everything. It's just kind of like a really solid trade. When you take that $38 and divide that by the 15,277, you get a pretty low return of about 0.2%. So it basically broke even this month, which is fine. I mean, that's the way it goes sometimes. Sometimes you have good months, sometimes you break even. You don't normally have bad months though. I haven't taken a loss on any of the months. So there you have it for the 5-step options trading success program for the month of December. Now, as I've stated before, the edge in selling option premium is because implied volatility is higher than actual volatility 83% of the time. Coming out of November, when the volatility dropped and the market rallied around 11%, most traders were most likely looking for a reversion and possibly for the S&P to go lower after a monster up move. But surprise, surprise, another up month. And this is why it's difficult to predict market direction. My small account portfolio using the 5-step options trading success program is not dependent on picking a direction. So an unpredictable market does not have a negative effect on the trading system. The system is designed to make money in any market environment while mitigating drawdowns. And in the last 6 months while trading the system live, my highest drawdown was only 1.1%. I mean, this is almost like a super high yield savings account. Again, you can learn exactly how I trade in this account by purchasing the course, and I put a link in the description below. Be sure to be one of the first 5 to get that $500 discount. Now I will go over my larger account. This account has portfolio margin, allowing me to trade with more leverage in order to take advantage of certain trade structures. Okay, here you can see the results of my larger portfolio margin account. And I started with 145, 181, close to 146, ended around 146. You can see that the calculations here are basically break even for the month. And like I said before, there wasn't a lot of juice in this month. Not a lot of juice to squeeze out of these options trades. One of the things is you can see there's a drawdown here. What are we at? 142.8 and 145.2. Let's do some calculations and see what kind of drawdowns I had. So 145, 181 minus 142,765. 2416 divided by 145, 181, 145, 181 about a 1.7% drawdown. And that's a pretty good, pretty decent size drawdown normally, because I usually don't have those kind of drawdowns. 1.6% is pretty large. Usually don't get those kind of drawdowns. But 1.6% drawdown is really insignificant. On the year, on this particular account, did over 20%, close to around 21%. And that's a good year. And there you have it for my large portfolio margin account for December 2020. If you want insight on how I trade this larger portfolio margin account, you could purchase my book, A Portfolio for All Markets, or you can check out the course I took that brought my options trading to another level. It is from Ron Bertino, called Trading Dominion. I've left a link in the description below for my book. Also, I did a review of Ron Bertino's course. There's a link there for that. And if you want to purchase Ron's actual course, there's also a link in the description below for that.